Hi guys, welcome back. Hope you're all doing well. Today I've got the most busted Titan build that you've ever seen in your life. The background footage you're going to see is from a match made Grandmaster, so that's negative 40 power. So we're at a 40 power delta here, and this build absolutely shreds through it, no problem at all. The main premise of the build is you're going to be using your LMG as a primary, never have to reload, damage buffs, constant healing, constant radiant. The two essential parts to the build are Actium War Rig, which get recently buffed. So on top of steadily reloading auto rifles and LMGs, it will actually give you a stability, ammo generation and damage buff. The damage buff goes up to 10%, but the ammo regeneration is what is allowing us to have unlimited ammo with the LMG. Using Actium War Rig with high weapon stat allows us to use this as a primary. With the ammo coming back into the mag, we never need to reload, and we're getting a 10% damage buff on top. We also need to pair this with an LMG that is featured in Edge of Fate so that we can equip the Temporal Blast mod. In my video where I recently went over Temporal Blast and what it does, I noticed that LMGs have a high generation rate for Temporal Blast. So use any LMG and get ×5 Temporal Blast will unleash a blast that does about 10 times the damage of one LMG bullet, and this is happening all the time because LMGs generate Temporal Blast charges extremely fast. Now this is where you need to make a choice, either for going down the solar route or the stasis route, because the LMGs available are Unwavering Duty and Ulterior Observation. Do you want to ignite everything, be radiant and constantly have restoration, or do you want to freeze everything and have over 50% damage resist and become a tank? Today I'm going over the solar one because that's what I prefer, but if you want, I can definitely do one on the stasis build as well. So looking at the subclass setup then, so our super is Hammer of Soul. I prefer it over Burning Maul because paired with the sunspots it allows you a little spot to get some healing if you have your super available and you're in a bit of a tight spot. Your melee, I just picked Thrown Hammer because I like Thrown Hammer. Your grenade needs to be Healing Grenade, definitely, because it's so good for getting you out of tight spots. Your aspects, Soul Invictus, again, creating sunspots, and because we are igniting and scorching targets, we will actually be able to create sunspots with our weapon kills with the LMG. And I have Roaring Flames just in case I want to use my hammer to kill some ads, very handy for buffing that hammer damage. But there is an argument to be made for Consecration, as you're not using your melee that much and it also gives you an extra fragment slot. For our fragments we have Ember of Mercy, which picking up a Fire Sprite grants restoration, Ember of Tempering, Solar Weapon Final Blows grant your allies increased health for a short duration. While it is active, your weapons create Fire Sprites, so Solar Weapon Final Blows create a Fire Sprite, so we're using Unwavering Duty all the time, so we'll create a lot of Fire Sprites, a lot of restoration on demand. Ember of Empyrean, Solar Weapon or Ability Final Blows extend the duration of Restoration and Radiant, well we'll be doing this all the time. And finally Ember of Ashes, you apply more Scorch stacks to targets. This will just help us create more ignitions across the battlefield, and it ties in with our primary weapon Ahab Char with Burning Ambition, so that we have a weapon that will stun overloads and unstoppables in the same weapon. For the artifact you want Barrier Pulse and Overload auto rifles. This way we'll be able to deal with all three champ types in the one build. Flame Fibre and Freeze so we can generate orbs with all our weapons, and then the scav mods so that we can have discounted solar scavengers. Fever and Chill so we can make ourselves radiant with precision hits with Unwavering Duty. Refresh Threads so we can get ability energy when we pick up a Fire Sprite. Cauterized Darkness is only really useful in a team setting, but if our team member is using Stasis or Strand, we will do more solar damage to the targets. Elemental Daze will cause an ignition when we stun a overload. Elemental Coalescence generates more Fire Sprites for us, so more restoration, more ability energy, and you're about to see more weapon damage. Because we'll be using Elemental Overdrive, picking up an elemental pickup or tangle grants increased damage to weapons of the same element, so because we'll be picking up a lot of Fire Sprites, we will be getting extra solar damage. And finally, Radiant Shrapnel to create those little Scorch balls when we deal damage to an already scorched target when we're Radiant. For our armour set, we want to use the Illustrious Armour Set for the bonuses when we receive healing. Our solar weapons gain increased flinch, handling and reload speed, but also, most importantly, the 4 pieces give us Cauterize, Rapid Solar Final Blows heal you, so we'll be getting this on top of restoration from a cure grenade, and on top of restoration from our fire sprite pickups. Just quickly, I'm on a big push just now to 1,000 subscribers, so any love that you can show in the video would be extremely nice of you. I appreciate all the support I've been getting recently, and it's not been unnoticed. You lads are absolute top tier shaggers. Anyway, love you lots, cheers. Now here comes probably one of the most important parts of the build, is your stats. So we need at least 160 weapon stat, and then we can bump this up to 200 with a couple of weapon mods in our legs. But the goal here for your stat distribution is to get 200 weapons. This will ensure that our LMG never runs out. If we pair it with Actium War Rig, we'll be getting heavy drops all the time, and this is what allows us to use Unwavering Duty like a primary weapon. Your next two stat focuses should be Grenade and then Super. The Grenade is vital for keeping us alive, and then Super is just good to have for those sticky situations. But 100% you need 200 weapons. For our Armour Mods, we want as many weapon stat mods as you can, along with the Strand and Solar Orb Generation mod, and then I like to put a Super mod in there as well to help. In the arms, a Solar Reloader, and then a couple of melee font mods just to give our hammer a little bit more damage. For your chest, you definitely need some Solar Generation ammo mods in there to keep your Unwavering Duty topped up. In your legs, 2 weapon font mods as I said, and then a Solar Scavenger. This ensures that when we pick up ammo, we're getting about 30 to 40 ammo per brick. And then in your class item, a couple of time dilations so that we keep all our stats topped up. I also just quickly want to show how good this build is for generating super ammo. So here we go, look at that super ammo bar fill up, and we end up doing about 1400 DPS as well, which isn't too bad. But with a decent super stat in your build, at least 70, because this is the old 100, we are able to generate super in about 20 to 30 seconds, which is good just to create passively. Finally, just to go over some roles with Unwavering Duty, I currently have Incandescent and Bait and Switch. That's what you're seeing in the background gameplay, but ideally I would love to get Incandescent and Onslaught. Onslaught just really ramps up the DPS, and you still don't have to reload with Actium War Rig. It's fantastic. Or you could get Incandescent Killing Tally as well. This would be a 10 out of 10 because again you never need to reload, so Killing Tally would be up all the time. And that's it. Thanks very much for your time. I appreciate you watching the video. This build is 10 out of 10, one of the most fun builds I've had, and it's potent and you can take it into any form of content in the game. I'll leave the footage to roll out so you can just see raw gameplay of the build, but if you liked the video please consider showing some love, and I'll see you soon for more Destiny 2 content. All the best, cheers.